So we've had a discussion previously about trying to find errors in a system, predicting failures in a system. When is it possible that we would have a failure? And then what we did last time was kind of this throwdown. Hey, what are all the weird failure things that could happen, right? And so we threw down a list, and now the question is, what are we going to do with that? So all we did was we found the faults. We should have rated all their severity. We'll do that another time. But let's walk through a couple of these. And I'm going to walk through the first 7 or 8, and then we'll stop. So the business process is we stream data in. We get data into our system. We validate it to make sure that data is validated. We reformat the data. We batch up those a couple at a time, and we write them out to a data lake. And a data lake has to be batched. So we actually need to collect a certain number or a certain size before we write it to the lake, because it doesn't support individual record writes. And then we write metrics out so that we can keep track of how many records we wrote to the lake and how successful we were. So I captured a couple failures, and we're going to go through these. So the first one was the input stream is not available. So there's no way for me to get the data. If I can't get the data, then the whole process stops, right? And so we're going to detect that. That's actually going to have a connection exception. So we're just going to say exception. And if it's just an exception, would a human detect this? And I think this is just a machine exception, right? And then remediation. The remediation is retry, and then alert humans if it fails, if retry fails. All right. And then, sorry about the clacky keyboard. No, I'm not. So, and then the next one is I don't have permission to this stream. So I have an input stream. I can actually, the stream's available. The data is available coming in, but I don't have access to it because somebody set up the configuration wrong. So we're going to get an exception here. And then the remediation is actually going to be alert. So this is something that retry, well, we'll probably continue to retry and alert. Retry, alert humans in parallel. Somebody's got to fix the permission. We'll keep retrying, hoping we get permission. The next one is there's no way to acknowledge the stream. No acknowledge on the stream. You know what? Heck with that one. I don't know what I was thinking there. Stream endpoint not found. So one was the stream isn't available, but the endpoint is there. This one probably should be above it. This is like host not found. We can't find the system this is going to come from. So this is going to be an exception. And I would say we retry and we alert humans if retry fails, right? Actually, we probably should alert humans anyway, like the endpoint not found. We can keep retrying. I think we'll do both. We'll retry and alert humans in parallel, right? Because we want somebody to fix this and we don't want the app to go down. So the good news is we haven't lost any data yet. Next one is deserialization field. So basically I'm reading data, and when I look at it, the data doesn't look like I expect. This will actually, it's like misshapen or something else. So let's just say that's an exception. It's going to be detected by the machine. And the remediation is, in this case, is we're going to put data in error zone, alert humans. Because if this thing, and I don't want to lose the data. I read data in, I don't want to lose it. It's fatal to this processing, but I would like to know what's there. So I'm going to put the data in an error zone and alert the humans. This does not look like something that we could remediate. And then the next one here is business validation fails. So if the business validation fails, we'll probably fire a business rule, right? So business rule, we'll find it. This isn't actually a failure, right? So nothing needs to be remediated. And so this is actually business remediation. So I would actually argue it's a failure, one of our business rules. And then I would say it's a business remediation process. We need to know what they wanted to do. We implement that in our code. The next one would be primary key. So this is actually a technical validation failure. This would be an exception. There's no need to retry. No retry. You know what? We're just going to put data in the error zone and alert the humans. And then the next one, so this was a little different. And the other ones were all runtime problems. So one of these was a business rule. The rest were technical failures. This one was a design error. We want metrics for everything we processed. But if you look at where the metrics process is, it's at the end. Bring data in, validate it, reformat it, batch it, write it to the lake, write the metrics. So turns out, if we have an error in the front in the validation phase, the way this design works out, there's no metrics being written. So what we found, we looked at failure modes. We found this one. And actually, this is a redesign. So we're not going to detect this. The remediation for this is actually going to be a redesign. And I would argue the detection is design time. So this was failure detected at design time. And we're going to do a redesign to remediate this. So those are kind of the interesting ones. I wanted to keep this short. So basically, that's the idea. So in this case here, you know what? I feel like this is a different article. Anyway, we will work out the column headers for these as we get close to this and decide different values, right? And so that's came out of this too. We found some design errors, and then we got to figure out how we're going to detect it and what the remediation is. What's the automated part of the remediation and what's the manual? And do we try and automate remediation for a little while and then go to manual, or do we jump to manual immediately? And how do we protect the data and our business? And that's it. I hope that's useful. Bye.